Well, let's speak now to UKIP MEP Jonathan Arnott, who joins me in the studio. Jonathan, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
This must be a day you've been looking forward to for some time.
Very much so. Although I think the elation and the feeling that it was something that I couldn't quite believe was happening was something that I got very much on June the 24th. And then we've had since then this 9 months and 6 days of waiting, of frustration. So in a sense, there's more of a feeling of relief than anything that it's finally now happening.
Handing over a letter, of course, is the simple part of all of this. So what happens now?
Well, what Theresa May has done is invoked Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, which is the formal mechanism by which the UK leaves the European Union. That provides for a 2-year negotiating process in which time we decide what we want the future relationship between the UK and the European Union to be, but also the European Union has to decide what it wants that relationship to be, and we've got to negotiate and come to a solution that works for both parties, that enables us to continue trading, continue to be good neighbours with each other, but to recognise that actually events are taking us in perhaps slightly different directions.
Lots of talk of hard Brexit, soft Brexit and all other manners of Brexit. What do you think the government need to focus on?
Well, I suppose what I'd describe it as would be a clean Brexit. We need to make sure that we're not still paying money to the European Union year in, year out. At the moment, we've been paying a membership fee that's something in the order of £55 million a day, of which we get roughly half back in benefits from the European Union. So there's an immediate saving there. We need to make sure that saving is definitely made. Then we need to make sure that we're taking control of writing our own laws, that the European courts won't be overriding British courts anymore, that our Parliament in Westminster needs to be sovereign, and that means that we get back control of things like immigration, our borders, our ability to make trade deals across the globe.
You picked on the point of trade deals. Of course, that's one of the key things that's been discussed through the Brexit debate. So what kind of trade deals do you think we need to see to benefit our region here in the North East and North Yorkshire?
Well, there are really two separate issues here. One is, I think we do want a trade deal with the European Union. Of course, whether you've got a trade deal or not, trade continues. We'll still trade with the European Union, but what we want to do is to have a deal so that it doesn't involve a tariff-based regime. That should ultimately happen because you've got a European Union which sells more to us as a nation than we sell to them, so tariffs would cost them more than it costs us. So it's in their best interest to have such a deal. Likewise, it's in the UK's interest, and it's up to the government to make sure that that is negotiated. But the second part, and the more exciting part for the future, is that since 1975 we haven't had the opportunity to make our own trade deals. We lost that when we joined in the first place. So we gained the chance to negotiate that kind of trade deal with countries across the globe. So we need to be looking at emerging markets like India and China. We need to be looking at countries like America, which is the biggest market in the world. So we've got to be looking at how we can develop our trade links, not just with the European Union, but truly to go global.
And of course, Jonathan, just 2 years till you're out of a job as an MEP. So will you be keeping an eye on things, though, in those intervening 2-year period?
Absolutely. And, of all the things that, nobody would normally ever be happy to be put out of work. But in this case, this is the right thing for our country.
Well, we hope you find fresh employment in the not too distant future. Jonathan Arnott, UKIP MEP, celebrating, no doubt, the triggering of Article 50 today.